All right, guys, let me give you the scenario. I was playing a festival last year in North Dakota, and it was really hot outside. I know it's crazy. North Dakota get hot. It was really hot. It was in July, and my computer kept overheating. I was using Serato, and I saw the little red light up there, and it kept flashing. And anybody that knows Serato knows what's about to happen. Anyhow, it starts distorting. The computer starts freezing, etc., etc. I was using an M1 MacBook Pro, and I had heating issues with the computer. So I said, oh my God, what am I gonna do? So I'm playing at a festival where it's not a DJ friendly festival. In other words, they pretty much have all live bands. I'm the one DJ that's playing at this festival. So I had my own equipment. They had a Serato mixer and otherwise everything else was mine. Or they had turntables and everything else was mine. So what did I do? I ended up going online. It was a 4-day festival. I said I need to get something overnight. So I went to a DJ shop, and I had them ship me in a Mixstream Pro, a Numark Mixstream Pro, because it was light, you could put a memory card in, it wasn't that much money, and I knew that I wouldn't maybe have those issues I would have playing in the sun with a computer. And so I got that in, and it worked fine. And I couldn't get down on it like I normally like to get down, but it got through what I needed to get through for that weekend. Got it the next day in the morning, played with it that night, and so on and so on. But anyhow, once I got back to my home in Arizona, I took the Mixstream Pro, and this is the original version of the Mixstream Pro, and I put it on the shelf, not to be used again. And literally it just sat in my garage where I store some of my gear. And then I just realized that there's an update for it. So now there's an update for it, and you're allowed to use it with Serato. Serato was kind of my software of choice. Now I kind of bounce back and forth. I'm starting to get into Algorithms DJ, as y'all know. I believe it does work with Algorithms DJ also. But I was like, okay, let me take it off and let me see. Somebody told me that it works with Serato, and I went and I looked online, and hell, it does. So let's take a look right now. I'm going to connect it for the first time using Serato with all y'all, and we'll see how it works.
Lights, camera, action.
All right, everybody, here it is, the Mixstream Pro. This is the original version right here. There's a couple of differences. One of the main differences, honestly, is if you're streaming Amazon Music. If you're streaming Amazon Music, you can only do that with the Pro Plus. A couple things about this controller. First of all, they keep upgrading it, which is kind of cool. Everybody knows how I feel about not having an IEC cable. So would I bring this out, anything other than a backup unit? No, I wouldn't. That's just the way I roll. But pretty cool stuff. But let's check it out. So right here, got your cable right now. It's USB-C I have plugged into my computer already. And let's plug it in. And it's plugged into the back. I also have a memory card in there. Let's turn it on. And as you see, it's turning on. Okay, it's powered by engine, obviously. If you're using a flash drive or a SD card, then you can use engine, and so you can run it almost the same way you would run CDJs in a sense. Okay, let it fire up for a second, and connected to my Wi-Fi. If I was going to stream, you could stream everything off of here, and blah 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 blah. Okay, so in order to connect it to Serato right here, so all you need to do, and right now it's reading my thumb drive. So right now it has a bunch of music on my thumb drive. But if I want to collect Serato, all I do is pull down from the top, or I go into Wi-Fi settings, and then there is a source right here on the left, and there's a little computer symbol right up here. So hit the computer symbol. This will stop audio. Yes, connect to the computer. Now what it's going to do is it switches. So that's the thing about this. You can't switch it back and forth instantly. Use like a thumb drive and then, or an SD card and then go back and then go into computer mode. It takes a second to line it up. All right. So right now I am now in Serato. So here's what the Serato screen looks like. And I'm not sure if there's a way to change whatever. If you look at the computer here, you can see that I'm changing to my crates, Here's all my crates. Now, some of these work on the touchscreen and some of them don't. And see, the touchscreen doesn't work, but I mean, you obviously have your computer right here. So if I was to load a track right here, and you can see it on the thing. And let me get some, I have to get something that streams because essentially, okay. And now you can see the waveforms there. And let's turn the speaker up. And that's using Serato, so it works perfect. It doesn't have the waveforms, you know, next to each other or perpendicular to each other, which I like. You know, they're kind of set up, you know, one player on this side, one player on this side. As far as effects are concerned, these effects coincide to Serato. So this is going to be echo on Serato, flange, or whatever. You can change these within the software, so you can change this. But otherwise, works great, works perfect. You can practice. It's a great practice unit. It has a little speaker in there. I wouldn't use a speaker for, you know, using it as a monitor or anything. It doesn't work, you know, that it's not that loud. Any half-ass sound system is going to overpower that. But yeah, so filters are up here. Everything works as said. One thing about it is that any kind of echo, or you can see it blinking right now because I have the echo on. But any kind of effect that you have on there, there is no wet dry. So you have to kind of set the wet dry in the software already and just kind of set it and forget it and then use this as needed. But otherwise, that's good. So there you have it. If you want to go back, I believe you just go into settings again, or maybe not. See, this is one of the only issues that I think I have a problem with this. Oh, and what I did is I remapped these buttons for insta queue buttons. So pretty cool. Yeah. So there it is. Again, if you want to bring back the other, you know, go back to your thumb drive, you're gonna have to power off and switch modes. I haven't figured out a way to do it otherwise, but there you have it. Let me give you my final thoughts. All right, guys, here's my thoughts. Numark's Mixstream. This is the Mixstream Pro, the original version. This isn't the Plus version. There's only minor differences between the Plus version. One of the big differences is you can stream Amazon Music with the Plus version. And there's some lighting differences, you know. Otherwise, the software, the effects are in the software, in the engine software, and they sound great. You can control the effects. There is no wet dry knob on here, which in Serato it kind of stinks because you can't control the wet dry in Serato. You have to do it within the software on your computer, you know. So it's fine, but you know, it's not as intuitive as I would like. But when you're using engine software, using an SD card or a thumb drive, you know, hard drive, whatever, you can definitely, you know, control the effects, the wet dry, the beats and everything right here on the screen. The screen works. It's a great touch screen. It works fine when you're using engine software and, you know, you're streaming using the engine software. But when you're using Serato, the screen doesn't work. Virtual DJ, I don't know. I know it works with Virtual DJ, but I don't know if the screens work. Algorithms DJ, I haven't checked it out yet. I believe it does work, but I'm gonna give that a check. I MIDI mapped some of these buttons that I don't use within Serato. Pretty cool. Yeah, I think it's a great unit. Will I bring it on the road with me? No, it's not something I bring on the road with me. You know, first of all, it doesn't have the power cable. It doesn't have an IEC cable. Everybody knows how I feel about not having an IEC cable after what happened with my Rev 7. So, you know, that controller became worthless to me. And F you to everybody that gave me a lot of crap for not having a backup unit. But I challenge anybody that says every gig that they go to that they bring a backup unit. And I don't mean a backup source like a phone or a way to play music on, you know, an iPad or anything. I'm saying, do you bring two controllers to gigs all the time? Or do you just want one that just works? It's not like something spilled on it. You know, do you just want a controller that functions, you know? And that's pretty much one of the problems is this, you know, that was the problem with the Rev 7 is that it didn't have an IEC cable. I couldn't get a cable where I was at. So yeah, you could bring two power sources, but how many people knew a power source would go down? You know, it happens though. It did happen. You know, I see that a possible problem with this one, you know, but it's also a $700, $600 controller. This doesn't have those kind of professional connections. Although I do have a Numark Mix Scratch or Numark Scratch that does have an IEC cable, and it's cheaper than this one, but it doesn't have screens. It doesn't. You can't use a thumb drive or an SD card. Whatever. So I'm rambling. And I don't know if I mentioned this before, but it controls lighting, and that's a big one. You know, sound switch. It controls sound switch. It can control Philips lighting. So this is a great little all-in-one party solution. You know, you're playing in a bar. You know, I would definitely bring a backup. Find a way to get a backup power source or anything. But if you're playing in a bar, it has XLR connections. Doesn't have a booth out. But it has 2 mains out, so maybe you could use the other mains and go into like a little external mixer. You could put 2 thumb drives in here. I have an SD card in, and of course you can use it with Serato now. Probably Virtual DJ and probably Algorithms DJ as well, but it definitely works with Serato. Anyhow, check this one out. It is the Mixstream Pro. This is the original version, and I think you guys really like it. Anyhow, that being said, signing out. Make sure you take care of yourself, and especially take care of each other, guys. Love y'all, and catch you on the next one.